Hi everybody, how you going? Louise Plant here with my 144 topics, and the topic today is about the drug connection. So when I'm talking about the drug connection, I'm not talking about over-the-counter drugs or pharmaceutical drugs. I'm talking about recreational drugs. And I feel quite strongly about this, so I've just chosen that for this subject this week because I feel strongly about it. So I just really want to, through history, man's always taken mind-altering substances, and I'm not adverse to that. I'm not adverse to, journeying, spiritual journeying. It was used for many reasons. So, ceremonial reasons, for ritual purposes, for spiritual journeying, so finding information and help and support in regards to whatever was ailing the tribe or the people or the family or whatever else it was, and actually using Mother Nature's gifts, be it in plants, whatever type of plants or shape or form that it is, to actually help give guidance and support. When tribes were going out hunting and they wanted to get information and help and support, or connect to the deer, connect to the antelope, the buffalo, whatever it was, have almost like a spiritual agreement or a spiritual connection with the animals, giving their offerings, thanks for providing food for the tribe and that sort of stuff. So that, I reckon, is all fabulous. And my past, I was taking hard drugs at 15. I was introduced to marijuana at 17, and I basically spent a lot of my life, taking whatever drugs. There was probably six year period in my life where I would take anything I could get my hands on, sometimes taking 3 or 4 different types of drugs in one night, and just really not knowing what was making me feel what, being dragged around places and situations in London that were just potentially really dangerous. And my life could have taken a very different path. In one respect, money was really tight. I actually thought of, getting into different lines of employment. Again, that would have taken me down a different line. I don't have any issues with, what employment or anything you do, that's fine. Though, some lines of work have a high association and connection with different substances. So there's many drugs out there nowadays, and I suppose part of this recording is really about being mindful as to the intentions, and it's about the intentions of what you do and how you do it. Now, having gone through that I know the more that I connect with myself on a spiritual level, the more awareness I have, the more love that I have for myself, the less desire I have for that. I've done work on myself, and work that I've done like with the seminars that we just had this weekend as well. It was like I didn't feel the need to be doing that stuff anymore. I felt good enough within myself. So, what are the reasons that people would want to be taking mind-altering stuff? Yeah, it could be fun, it could be for a good time, but you'll tend to find that underneath that there will be an underlying reason. And having, worked with addictions and addictive personalities and people, and being addictive personality myself, often there's a void that wants to be filled there. There's a desire to escape from what it is that you want to be doing. There can be, you might want to stay awake or go to sleep. There might be peer pressure from other people. You might want to be fitting in with the group. You might want to be looking cool. But there just could be almost that pure essence of, and for me, this was what it was for me. It was just like, I want to die, like I want to kill myself. There was a lot of self-loathing, self-hate within myself, and I just wanted to kill myself and trash myself. And I still get those feelings now, every now and again, like something will happen and I'll be triggered, I don't know, probably twice in the last, or once in the last year or something, or 6 months, whatever. I've had that feeling and that sensation of like, just what's the point, what's the use? Like, we get those feelings, and that's okay. It's just finding new ways and other ways to do that. So from my personal experience, because everyone's got their own journey and process, the more I have found greater feelings of self-love within myself, feelings of self-worth, the more I've done more self-care practices, the less desire I have to take myself away from myself, because the reality is that when we do take drugs, they are mind altering and they are removing us from ourselves. They are taking us away from what we truly are. And when we feel that what we truly are is shit or horrible or it's fucked or whatever else it is, you know, and we're not seeing ourselves in our true form, you know, we can have self-loathing and hate, and we would want to be doing that stuff. So the other thing I wanted to be talking about as well is, you know, we've talked about Mother Nature's plants, but, you know, synthetic, man-made drugs, and this really, really concerns me, and I feel really strong about it. We've had quite a few deaths. I think there was 14 or something, I've been told, from people dying because of the drugs that they're taking, the overdoses, the bad effects of the drugs. So not only is that something that I feel real strongly about, is the fact that people have the mentality and the intention nowadays of making chemical drugs without the care or love of people. You know, something grown with Mother Nature is going to have a different vibration to something that's been made in some lab by someone who has basically the mentality of greed, or the mentality of, you know, power, or controlling people, or money, you know. Like, so there's an intention and an energy that goes into those synthetic drugs about the lack of care, and that I feel really strongly about. So, you know, we live in a world where we're moving into a realm of more subtle vibrations and subtle feelings. So we take on that energy and that vibe of, you know what, I don't give a shit. I just want to make some fucking money. I don't care about you. I don't care if you die. And I've met drug dealers who I've said, you know, don't you care about that? And they go, no, I just want that money in my pocket. I just want the status. I want the power. I want to be, you know, whatever, king shit, whatever it is, queen shit, whatever it is, you know. And to me, that I feel very strongly about that. The other point I want to make about recreational drugs as well is not just the issue of, you know, the intention of the person making it. It's the effects that it has on you energetically. So being an energetic healer, a spiritual healer, is when we take synthetic drugs as well, we actually leave ourselves very open. Our aura becomes open. Our energy fields become open. You know, we might be feeling really great and we're having a good time, but we're open to astral energy. We're open to entities, and we're open to attachments. So, you know, I see the kids and the teenagers running around doing their thing, and then, you know, energy is cleared. 2 weeks later, it's back again. And when that energy and those entities come in and they attach to people, I don't want to say it makes them, but we are magnets, okay? So we're a magnet. If we've got entities within us and energies that we're carrying within us, which have that I don't give a fucking shit attitude, okay, it pulls in I don't give a shit circumstances in our life. It pulls in drama, you know, things just don't flow, things don't go well. So there's that aspect of you know, these synthetic drugs as well that is brought into our life, and things can snowball very fast into a pretty strong downhill spiral where things are just out of control. And I've been out of control. I know that, you know, I'm talking from personal experience. So, you know, look at your intention. What's your intention? What's your need to take the drugs, you know? And it's the same with alcohol, anything mind-altering, you know, cigarettes, anything, you know. Why do you feel the need to take yourself away from something? I read somewhere sometime, you know, that if you cannot abstain from something for 30 days, then it's an issue. You know, if you can say, do you know what, I'm just doing a 30-day break from this, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to smoke, I'm not going to take drugs, I'm not going to smoke pot, whatever it is, for 30 days, okay, and you're okay with that, then that's good, okay? This thing hasn't controlled you, you don't need it, you are in control of what you're doing. But if you cannot abstain from something for 30 days, and I probably couldn't abstain from sugar for 30 days at the moment, whatever it is, you know, if you can't abstain from something for a 30-day period, then there's you know what I mean? There's an attachment there, there's a need there, and yeah, that to me would be something to be addressed. So, yeah, just one other comment I wanted to make is the fact that, you know, I'm here in Australia, and I don't get it. This is something I don't understand, and I'm open to comments on this. You know, like I can work in a pub, or I can get a job, or within 2 days I can actually find out who's dealing what drugs, when and where. So, you know, I question our policing system in this, because if I can work out how to score stuff, then, you know, why is it not being addressed? And, you know, where I live at the moment, you know, there's talk of there's 3 meth labs down the road. And, you know, I've worked with meth addicts and ice addicts, and the effects on the children is devastating. The effects on the physical health is devastating. It shrinks the brain to almost the point of someone with severe Alzheimer's. And friends of mine over the other side of Australia have actually taken people on, you know, have coming into emergency awards on ice and meth, and actually done brain scans and shown that it just shrinks the brain, it destroys the brain. And nervous system tissue takes a long time to repair. So, you know, you're ending up with, you know, however old you are after doing this for 3-6 months with, you know, almost irreversible brain damage that is going to take longer to heal than, you know, especially if you're not eating the right type of foods, which we've spoken about. Foods for brain repair, walnuts, broccoli, cauliflower, and that sort of stuff as well. So, yeah, be mindful of the intention of whoever's manufacturing your drugs. I would always say aim to stay away from any synthetic and go for something natural. Even I lived in Thailand for 2 years, and the locals would never touch the phalang or the drugs that were grown for the tourists, because they're just pumped with chemicals, they're pumped with hormones to make them grow. They would always be growing their own sort of stuff, you know. So be mindful of what you're taking. Where is it coming from? You know, what's the intention from? If you feel the need to do it, then do it, okay? It's your process, it's your journey. Take yourself through whatever that process is. And I'm not, you know, I wouldn't want to say don't do it, you know, just you know, if you plan, you have to do it, you feel the need to do it, then do it from a safe point of view. If you're willing to take it to the next level and then say, okay, well, what is my intention for this? What is this giving me? You know, what am I escaping from? What am I getting away from? You know, with a lot of addictions, there can be an underlying neglect. It doesn't necessarily have to be trauma or drama or something bad in your life. It can just merely be not enough love, because when we feel that feeling of love within ourselves, it's almost like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. You know, being an addicted personality, battling with even with cigarette smoking and that sort of stuff, it's been a battle ongoing throughout my life. You know, I'm always going to be a nicotine addict. Though I know moments where it's been really good for me has been the fact when I can actually feel so good in myself. It's like, why would I want to do that? And it's not like a repulsion. It's not like you're pushing it away. It's not like, I'm done with this. You know, there's not that passion or that, you know, pushing away vibration about it. It's merely the fact of like, I feel good. Like I feel good. So why change that? It's good feeling good. So, you know, bringing in more self-love into yourself and just feeling better has changed things. So I did a healing session, a spiritual healing with a local lass last week, and it was just freaking amazing. It was amazing. Like the sensations I was having in my body and the things that I was seeing and what was going on. And, you know, that was an altered state of mind and consciousness.